So welcome back to the Happiness series and to day 2 of part 1. Now, yesterday I was introducing this idea of unlimited or limitless kindness. And this is based on the idea that this is one of the key ingredients to living a life of happy contentment within ourselves, but also sort of harmony with people around us. As I said at the end of yesterday's exercise, it sounds so obvious. And yet very often the way in which we think and feel and act isn't necessarily that way. So we know it at some level, but it hasn't really become part of our being. Now you remember from some of the earlier themes in the Headspace journey that often when we focus a little bit too much on ourselves, even if it's trying to achieve a state of happiness for ourselves, sometimes that actually results in us moving further away from what it is we're chasing after. And yet by focusing our attention on others, the happiness of others, somehow that brings about a natural, innate sense of happiness within ourselves. Of course, with this particular exercise, we're focusing on both. In fact, we are part of that sort of whole. We're part of everybody's happiness, which is why we're beginning with ourselves, reminding ourselves of our ability, our capacity to be kind, and reminding ourselves of the feeling that naturally arises when we engage with that innate sense of kindness. And then just watching how it has the potential to go far, far beyond ourselves. And certainly in our mind, we can imagine it going to that place that of limitless kindness, friendliness, whatever words kind of help you to feel as though you're relating, engaging with the people around you in your life. So as we begin today's exercise, just remembering, firstly, that this is about reminding ourselves of that innate sense of kindness, even if we have a good understanding of it intellectually. It's about not needing to hold on to that pleasurable feeling for ourselves, but instead letting it go, sharing it with those around us. And thirdly, bringing about that really spacious aspect of mind, that all-inclusive aspect of mind, which has no limits. And within that space is kind awareness. So just take a moment now to get comfortable. Eyes open. And when you're ready, just beginning with some deep breaths. And now just gently closing the eyes, allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. As you just settle in to the space around you and the different physical senses. And now just coming back to the body, just scanning down from head to toe. Just noticing the attitude of mind, prevailing emotion. Just becoming more aware of both the physical sensation and also the mood. So just take a moment now to be clear about your motivation, your intention. And if you need to, even think of times in your life when you have been kind and the result of that versus times where perhaps there's been some unkindness and the consequences that it has or has had on relationships in your life. So just being really clear about that intention. And now just shifting the attention to the breath. And just staying with that feeling for the next couple of minutes or so. So when you're ready, now just very gently imagining a pinprick of light, middle of the chest, middle of the body. Remember all the qualities of sunlight. And just bringing to mind the time when you've done something, said something kind to another person. It can be the same situation as yesterday or completely different time. Not getting too caught up in thinking about it, but just replaying, if you like, the highlights in the mind and just noticing the feeling that brings about. Don't worry if it's not particularly strong, it's okay, but just a sense of how it feels to be kind. And with that feeling, with that thought, just beginning that visualization. As that pinprick of light begins to expand, sending, if you like, a wave of kindness out throughout the body. And in your own time, just watching that expands as far as the mind can possibly imagine. And having filled that entire space with that sense of kind awareness, you're just letting go of any image, any focus, and just letting the mind do whatever it wants to do. And now, just gently bringing the attention back into the body, back into the physical senses, back into the space around you. As you become more aware of the feelings, the sounds, as you just gently open the eyes, give them that soft focus, sense of kind awareness, knowing that that's something you're going to carry into the day today. And when you've done that, you can just sit back in the chair. So, hopefully yesterday you found a couple of opportunities to do something kind for those around you. As I say, it's really important that these things, they're the little things. You know, it's not about grand gestures. It's about looking just for natural opportunities throughout the day. Sometimes we'll notice them, sometimes we'll miss them, but over time, hopefully we notice them more and more, and we are reminded of our ability, our potential to be kind. Sometimes it's simply not saying anything or not doing anything that's the kind thing to do. So it's noticing, being skillful as well in our kindness. But you'll have noticed that when you experience that sense of kindness in yourself, that there's no room really for any frustration or impatience. There's no room for kind of a lot of critical thought, judgmental thought, a lot of mind chatter. It's usually quite a soft, calm, quiet sort of place. So really useful as well to think of this as something that could be applied in the sense of remembering what it feels like in those moments throughout the day when you feel a little stressed or something's going on. Just to remind yourself of that quality, that feeling, and just to take 30 seconds, a minute, just sort of come back to that feeling. And you might just notice the intensity of emotion starting to decrease a little bit. But I'll leave it there for now, and I'll